My bench went from 430 down to 45. Like the people still holding GameStop. The ultimate task right here. Week 1 down with no pec and we get snow, so we're gonna try to shovel with one hand. I can't use this one yet because that's too much on the pec. But thank God we're kind of strong. This is gonna be a task. I should like tape this. I should tape this to my arm so I have like leverage with it.
Yeah, you should.
Condos are beautiful because a plow comes and the walkway's all shoveled and stuff, but we gotta handle our own little car area. Ideally, I'm supposed to pull my car out so the plow can get in here, but I couldn't cover it off in time. Welcome back, guys. We're into our second week of recovering from this pec tear, second or third. I can't even keep track of what date it is. Anyway, first week of the pec tear, I rested it. I didn't do a single thing. I put ice on it, 20 minutes on, 20 minutes off, and I tried not to use this arm at all because it was a fresh tear. It was swollen, it was tender. At exactly a week later, I finally began doing at-home PT. Now this first week, it was very rickety. Everything I did, the pec would kind of spaz out and twitch out. It didn't hurt, it wasn't used to being activated since the tear, so I had to go very, very slow and do barely anything at all. But very, very quickly it began adapting. The thing with a tear is you want to have a nice happy medium of allowing it to heal and recover, not pushing it. Let it actually recover, but make sure you're strengthening it up as it recovers. You want it to recover properly. So you want it to recover strong and functionally. You want it to have range of motion when it's fully recovered and be strong in all different angles of movement once it's fully recovered. If you just let it heal, but you just sit with it, you don't do any activity, you don't strengthen it up or move it or use it as it recovers, you're gonna have a very weak and prone to injury healed pec. So the second you go and get under any sort of weight, or the second you move in any sort of a challenging way, you might re-tear it again. We don't want that. So we want to build strength up as quickly as we can, but without pushing it too far. So here's what I'm doing, guys. Now I can kind of cruise through these exercises pretty smoothly. It's awesome. A week ago, this was like the hardest thing for me. First thing I do, very boring, I just lay on the bench, get into a bench position, and just do air presses. This is just a warm-up. This just really helps get the blood flowing into the chest. It kind of helps stretch it a little bit. You don't want to stretch a torn muscle. Don't stretch torn muscles. So when I say stretch, I mean just a very healthy, natural movement of stretching. So I'm not pulling my arm way back, no external rotation, just the normal amount of stretching you get from regular healthy movement. So the bottom of a rep, the top of the rep. That's what I mean by stretching. But this kind of helps you get the muscle moving. If it's been stiff, if you've been sitting all day, it's a tear. So you want to make sure this thing is liquid and warmed up before you start working with it so you don't tear it or hurt it again. So we just do this, lightly flexing the chest. I'm not even trying to squeeze the chest hard. I'm not trying to get like a chest pump. I'm just trying to move it in a natural way that gets the blood into the muscles and gets the muscle kind of warmed up, kind of loosened up, kind of moving. Next up, I throw on the Slingshot. I'm a size XL, guys. Slingshot is such an amazing tool. You guys have seen me use it to work on hitting new PRs. It's a great tool to throw on after you're done benching and get some exhaustion failure reps in, almost like spotter assisted, but of course it works with the muscles, stretches and contracts with the muscles, so it's more like you doing it on your own, but it allows you to move some weight you maybe couldn't move, or move it easier than you can normally move it, and it's a great tool to use if you're approaching a PR to actually get under that weight that you haven't hit yet and work with it. This will allow you to kind of handle weight that you can't quite hit raw yet, and that's a good way to get familiar with that weight. It builds confidence. You get to feel that weight in your hands, you get to get familiar with it being in your hands, and you get to move with that weight. And by the lockout, it's mostly you again. It just helps you at the bottom. So a great tool for getting stronger, which you've seen me do for years. On the flip side of the coin, this is also a great tool for baby steps, for recovering from an injury. And it'll continue to be so as I progress. So once I get back into moving real weight again, even if it's lightweight still, I can throw this bad boy on. Even if it's 135, 185 pounds next month or a month after that, whenever it comes, even if it's 6 months from now, whenever I get back to using any sort of weight, I can throw this bad boy on, come down to the bottom, and it's gonna help me out of the bottom just a little bit. That's gonna help take some of the tension directly off of my chest, but still allow me to move some weight and get some hypertrophy in there. It's a great way to help build the bench back after an injury. But even right now, when I'm not getting under any weight anytime soon, what I do now is I just do pull-aparts with it. I row. Just doing pull-aparts. And again, this isn't even directly hitting the chest. You can flex the chest as you come back, but it's really helping get, again, a natural amount of stretch in there. Not stretching, just a natural amount of movement. Getting the shoulders engaged there too, because you compensate when you have an injury, so I wanna make sure those shoulders are still working properly. And reflexing the chest on the way back, and I can feel the blood pumping into it now, which is really, really nice. And like I said, once we start getting under some weight, which may not be for a while, this will be an amazing tool to help me do it safely. Guys, 10% off if you use the code NICK10 for these, and anything else you want on Slingshot. Sites in the info box below. Next up, my little 11-pound plates. Too cool for 10s. Just basically dumbbell pressing with these. I don't have 10-pound dumbbells, otherwise I'd use those. Close grip, I don't have them out here like a fly. The farther out you go, the more strain that is in the chest. I can already feel that in my pec. So real close, but close will still activate the pecs, but we're keeping it close because that's safe. Activates the pecs in a safe way. Nice and slow, nothing's explosive or snappy. Just slow, methodical movements, getting that blood flowing into the chest. And again, I'm not trying to flex my chest hard at the top like I'm Jay Cutler in a Flex magazine photo shoot. You know, again, we don't want to push it. There is a tear there that's still kind of new. So just a natural flex, the amount of flex that comes simply from extending the arms. That's the only amount of flex we're putting into the chest. We are going down 4-range of motion because doing the dumbbells here, they allow your hands to track in their own path of motion, which is a lot healthier than the fixed position of a barbell. So you can get away with deeper range of motion, nice and light. Next up is the barbell. This was the toughest one for me at first. Last week, because as soon as you get under a weight, unracking it like this, I felt my pec like start to like seize up. Not hurt, but it felt like there was like electricity pulsing through it. It was really weird. It was like spazzing out. One thing I do with this is I don't sit down here, I sit underneath it. At this point in the game with my pec, I don't want to do any pullover motion yet. I do want to point out that you'll notice I'm just doing the same motions, just pushing right in front of me. As you progress, I do want to add more dynamic movements into this. You know, movement out here, movement over here. Swimming would actually be ideal, but we want to take it slow. That's going to be very important for making sure this pec has good mobility and good functional strength as we heal. But the more outside motions like that are the riskier motions too. So we want to start with the safest, straight up movements just to get a foundation going, just to start getting this thing healed. Once this is a little stronger, once it's more healed and we're more comfortable, then we can start throwing in some odder range movements. So for now, what I do is I get right underneath the bar so I don't have to do any pullover. Close grip again, close grip. And I start off slow. I'll just do like a spoto press at first, just to really kind of ease into it, because again, I don't want to stretch that pec. And I just keep the elbows tucked, and it's a lot of tricep, definitely a lot of tricep. Again, we want to protect the chest. So the wider you are, the more flared your elbows are, the more chest activation it is. Not necessarily a bad thing, but baby steps. Then I'll start to kind of go low. And I'll do a couple of sets of 10 of this, just like this. And I can feel it, it feels good. There's no spasm, there's no pain. If there's any discomfort, you don't want that. Shouldn't be hurting. So that's the close grip, and now what I started doing just this week is I'll go just a little bit wider. Not much, a thumb's length wider. And again, very slow and methodical, just like this. Sets of 10, no snapping it up, no quick movement. And it's weird, out of my peripheral I can see like my left boob flexing higher than my right boob. It's such an odd thing. People ask me, they're like, you don't want to get surgery even if it stays deformed like that? One, it's not badly deformed. With my shirt off and out the swelling's gone, you wouldn't even be able to tell unless you were like looking for it. Two, I don't give a fuck. My chest is always sucked anyway. The fuck, I'm not gonna spend 25 grand just because I feel like my boob could look prettier. Like my chest has already been horrible and I'm retired from bodybuilding. All I want is to be healthy and fully functional, and that's what we're working at. Last but not least, I just get the medium band here. If I had lighter bands, I would use them, but I had them and I lost them, so this works. Anyway, I sit kind of further back. The more you lean forward, the harder it'll be. The further back you are, the easier it'll be. So you want to find a nice happy medium of where it's challenging enough to activate things, but you're not forcing anything or grinding or straining. Again, just methodical. And these are really cool because they're like an odd blend between like a dumbbell, because like your hands can move on their own, but also not dumbbells because the tension is constant on them. So it's a really cool movement. I mean, you feel the tension all the way down to the bottom still. It gets harder through the top, but it's a nice gradual increase. It's not like chains or anything jarring. So set to 10 on these.
How does it feel?
Good. I feel it pumping in my chest. No pain in my chest. Everything feels strong, sturdy, even, balanced. Everything feels good. So I'll run through that whole circuit right there, probably 2, at most 3 times. And I'll do it 3 to 4 times a week. That's what I've been doing. And we'll increase as necessary, but again, trying to play smart. I'm not doing any massaging yet because it's still new. What I will start doing more is propping one arm up, preferably on like an armrest of a seat or something. And then you can start massaging in here. But when the rip is new, you really want to be careful on that. So we're not doing that yet because that can do more damage than good. But once this is really healed, you know, once we can move some actual weight around again, then some deeper massages in here to keep things nice and loose with the lacrosse ball will be the way to go, especially with the scar tissue. Last but not least, we ice this bad boy down. It's good just to help keep inflammation down.
It's a little tangled, I think.
I'm a little tangled, but good to keep inflammation down, especially after you work it. You know, things can get inflamed and irritated and stuff, so this is good to do right after a workout. It just kind of cools things off. Feels good. First meal of the day to break the fast, we're doing a protein pancake, an old favorite. I haven't done it forever. This time we're using 2 scoops of a chocolate flavored whey protein. We're gonna mix in a little bit of cinnamon with it. We are gonna mix in an egg and some almond milk. It's gonna be delicious. And we're gonna throw in 1 pack of Splenda. That's a little trick I like. It helps just give everything a nice little crisp, like kick of flavor. It's really good, trust me. And so we're gonna fry this bad boy in the skillet, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna try something cool. For toppings, we have the Built Go Energy, right? I've shown this in the last 2 videos. I keep showing different recipes. I'm trying to get as creative as I can. This is the peanut butter honey flavor. This is collagen protein, 15 grams of collagen protein and 100 grams of caffeine. So it is caffeinated, energized collagen protein, meaning if you have a lactose intolerancy, this is your go-to. This is dairy-free, it's no way, it's a beautiful thing. Collagen has a lot of other benefits too for your skin, your joints, your hair, your nails. So a lot of benefits there, and the big benefit for me, it's the afternoon pick-me-up, 100 milligrams of caffeine and peanut butter honey flavor. So the idea is we're gonna pour this on, and it looks just like a chocolate spread on top of the pancake. It looks amazing. And I'm gonna first see how just this alone tastes on the pancake without any syrup. So without any syrup, just the Built Go Energy. That's good. Ooh, with the cinnamon combined with the honey and the peanut butter flavor on a pancake. I'm gonna experiment with some sugar-free syrup. I'm only gonna put it on 1 section, see how they mix. Because if you think about it, I mean, this is just like having a dessert-fueled pancake, except healthy. Let's see, so this is with the syrup. That's good. That's good. That tastes like something you get at like a diner with like those big dessert pancakes that they offer and all the crazy recipes that come with it. Peanut butter and honey with cinnamon and maple syrup. Oh, and it's very high in protein. The protein powder itself, the protein from here, which is all collagen, and the flavor, man. Peanut butter, honey, guys. Discount code for this stuff in the info box below. I put the link as well. Try it out. 10 out of 10.